when we first came in, that it was a lot leaner than it was last year. So thank you for your efforts.
A lot neater than it was at dawn this morning.
Hey, I thought you done it with everything.
That's right. Gordon.
It's a little bit of all this.
Spray.
We got the
Actually, I haven't posted a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, good.
I ran up to New York on a motorcycle.
Hey, John, how are you doing?
All right, I guess.
You got both knees going now?
Yeah, I got a new,
I don't know if you
new,
I see that, yes.
flash mark.
Billy Creel got his motorcycle.
Still working.
Hey.
When they put it in a zipper.
Down to
Yeah,
Florida.
well,
And he came back and he said, very good chairs and good. That's what I said.
Well, there's chairs available over here, and there's some space on the,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's the festival. Hey. Hi there. Heidi, Heidi, Heidi. How you doing? I am good. Ooh.
yeah.
Okay. Now.
Hey,
Howdy. How's everybody?
Hey, it's good to see you.
And I screwed up.
Doing well?
Because this
Doing
first
okay.
Monday
Good.
crept up
Okay,
on
it's
me.
good.
I actually went by Mama's usually on the way into town. We still have places to go.
So everything's all right.
That's a good thing, huh?
All right.
Drop
We are ready to progress
Drop
right on
hook.
schedule. Yeah, you got us trained now. We can Right. first.
What?
Not a bicycle.
Well, because it's only.
Tricycle.
And plus I'm incredibly disorganized. No,
Sidecar?
what I meant to say was.
No
I'm a
sidecar?
very busy person.
Not a modified gold wing.
I'm sorry, what did you say you left your kids at home? And it was getting
Hey, Mike.
here? Hey, hello. Oh my gosh.
Well, where's your good seat? Over there?
Those are empty.
Find an empty chair or just set yours up anywhere, be fine.
Alright.
We can double row it too. I don't need
All right.
Try the switch.
Oh, I should probably be reviewing my notes. Since I still cannot get onto the Yahoo page. I think Jerry did it to me.
I don't know, I find it hit and miss. Sometimes I can get on, sometimes I can't.
Oh, is that like that candy bar? Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes. Yeah.
There are alternatives to Yahoo groups for discussions. Groups.io I saw has come out. So.
Yeah, a number of groups are abandoning Yahoo now because of issues like that.
Yeah, I had trouble.
That may be something we have to look at doing.
Hey, go on Facebook and let hackers steal it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody hacks.
Hello, Robert, come in. We saved the place for you. Yeah, we saved
Got two
the place
seats open
for you.
here, or two over there. Hey, Ed.
Yes.
Doing good. You doing okay? Did you sleep in this morning or late yesterday? Did you sleep in yesterday?
Yeah, it was late
You're
yesterday.
gonna have a lovely view of my cat.
I saw you out there cutting grass.
It's actually my better side.
It's a lovely head.
Cutting about a third of my grass
Finish it up a little later.
around the observatory.
We could take one
I imagine that Peter and Sharon.
I asked Peter if either one was going to show, and he said he thought they would. If they don't, if we need it, they said they'd fill out a proxy for us. But hopefully either Sharon or Peter will show up.
There's the lots, yay!
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
You get a lot of names to remember,
Yes.
or are you good at that?
No, I'm terrible at it. I can't even remember your name, man.
Well, we got a big group today.
I was supposed to send that in to you.
Oh, probably take a voice vote, just hang on to it. And probably at the end of the meeting, we'll do a voice vote. And those were voted for the folks that were coming, fill it out, send it back to us, because it's also a proxy. We got to have 14 folks here to actually have our meetings.
I thought that was the case, and then this morning I saw 29.
No, we're good.
Well, you'll find that anything you anticipated will be way better than the actual.
Man, that's a full house.
Yeah, I think, asking Peter, I didn't even look to see what the weather was supposed to be this week, and he said maybe Tuesday, some of the.
No, she's just
The rest of the week.
But you know what?
We actually remembered it.
This guy.
Oh, we're videoing it?
Oh, that guy, yay!
Did you work the bugs out?
Yeah, what I don't get is, I gotta figure out why, because my whole car was basically the same thing.
You gotta remember this.
But here it was flagging, like Walmart, and that's just putting it on spam filter.
Not today. Oh, I know. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
There's a bit of that going on. But not Walmart.
That was
My concern there is we gotta be careful, because all share changes.
I would think
They do child porn, we can get in trouble.
never done.
By the way.
And then I'll get with you tonight to do the VPN, so you don't have to run up here.
like my wife, I don't.
Did you install the software? Did you read it on it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you read it?
Yeah, we should be set to go there.
He says it great groups over now.
Oh, yeah.
Falling down on the job. She sleeps late too. I need a zapper.
We've got 1 minute to go. Is everybody here that's going to be here, do you think? I believe so. Roll.
We have quorum?
Yeah, we turn the,
I believe so.
the white thing makes the
At
sign
least
go
14
right.
lots represented today?
Yes.
Okay, great.
We have.
All right, well, I'd like to welcome everyone to our annual LOA meeting. And before we, I guess we need to go ahead and call to order the meeting. Do I have a second on that?
I second.
All right. Before we get started, we have a couple of new families in our village. What I'd like to do is just get everybody to introduce themselves. So if someone's not met, everybody will know everybody else out here. And let's start with Jonathan and go clockwise here.
All right, I'm Jonathan Burnett and my wife Patricia. We're from Jacksonville. We have a lot, but we don't have anything on the lot, so we only come up here for the meetings so far. But I'm the acting treasurer, and I'm happy to train somebody else that would like to. Not treasurer, secretary. She's training the treasurer. I'm happy to train the next secretary if somebody would like that. I am.
I'm Catherine Denton, I'm currently the treasurer.
I'm Dan Tillman, I'm currently on the board of directors.
I'm Linda Chapman, and I'm currently on the design review committee.
I'm Robert Pilgrim, currently recovering from a knee replacement. Not on any.
You're on the DLG. DLG, aren't you?
I bought my way on that.
Oh. You think the rest of them?
I wasn't elected to that. That's not an elected.
I'm Tim Lott. I think I'm on the grounds committee.
Yes, if you like, you can be on it again next year.
Would love to have you on the grounds next year.
I'm Mike Lonnie, I'm just here.
And I'm Marie Lott, and I work with Eric and Sharon on the picnic. And I do the directory, so we'll smush. But I think I've got our new residents on here, but I'm going to start passing it around, and through the meeting, if you can just check your stuff off and put a check mark if everything's okay, and if there's a correction, pencil that in and I'll update it, and then I'll send everybody the PDF, so. And the proposed slate of officers is on the back, should there be a contentious election, we'll mark through their names. Anyway, that's.
Be sure to update your phone numbers and email addresses if they're incorrect as
And if you
well.
don't have an emergency number, we really do like to have that, because a lot of us are out here by ourselves doing kind of stupid things on ladders, or, late at night when it's dark. And, you're found like this in the yard, but you need to know who to call, and so.
And there's guys in the woods shooting at us.
Yeah, every now and then, yeah. And it could even
Well,
be
shoot
just
back.
call home, or, like, they have a family at home, it doesn't have to be complicated. Anyway.
Actually, shooting that is
Oh, it is? Oh, darn.
in our covenant.
It is?
You can step onto their property.
Step onto their property.
I'm caring for it, and I'm with
And I'm Dan Ford, president of the LOA this year, possibly next year,
And DLG.
and DLG, correct.
I'm Ed Alden, the new guy on the block. I'm over at Jerry's place. My wife is Nancy, and she is at her brother's birthday party today, so hopefully she'll be here for
Up to come on, get up in here somewhere.
the Stargaze later this week.
Sir?
Yeah, just try to slide in somewhere, it'll be fine. We actually have one more seat here.
There you go.
There's carpet
Can we
chairs.
steal a chair from the astronomy club?
There's actually one, looks like one over there.
There you go.
You sit there. I think yours is okay, we just double check.
Sit over the counter.
No, there's two more chairs that you need.
Okay.
Oh, she's young enough, she can sit on the floor.
If I got on the floor, you
Yeah,
can't
good.
get me.
Mike, if you need another chair, there are two in my back of my vehicle. Yes, sir?
All right, you don't want the chair? All right. Good to go.
All right, where do we leave off? Eric?
Oh, me. So my name is Eric Benner. I fix roads. So
Internet.
tell her when the potholes are bad, I'll be doing those after peach state.
Roads and grass.
Yeah, I mow some, and my son mows some. He mows more. I'm also DLG, if that matters.
Peter?
I'm Peter McCumber. I run the Peach State. Other than that, I try to remain retired. And right now, I'm very tired.
Well, there's a spot for secretary open.
I'm John Keane, Lot Zero. I'll leave talking to Jane, the publicity person.
Jane Keene, public relations, and, I don't know, I guess I'm hospitality and dark sky, of which I have little influence, or little activity.
I'm Dean Fuqua. I'm the other new guy on the block, I guess. Just getting to know everybody and starting to about halfway done with the observatory. So that's it.
Mike Webb.
Dan Llewellyn, retired troublemaker.
Retired?
Are you actually retired from that?
Retired,
comma, trouble.
Kelly?
I'm Bob Stickle. I'm the retiring LOA board member, and I plan to take a few years off and spend more time with my family.
That would be me. I'm Laura Gordy, I'm his wife.
And Dan, for the record, who is representing the DLG and the lease lots?
We'll let Eric
I'm doing it
represent
this year.
the DLG
Okay.
this year.
Ooh, this could be fun.
Yeah.
Then you
And
add a comma troublemaker to mine.
that gives us 19 lots represented, including the leased.
All right, we needed at least 14.
We needed 14,
Correct.
so we're,
Okay, great. Just a comment, Robert had bought Chris Chris's share, so Robert is now the major holder of the DLG, along with Eric, myself, and Ralph Bowman. And I think Ralph's a little under the weather, so he was not able to make it today. All right, so also before we get started, I wanted to thank Peter and Sharon for allowing us the use of the AAC clubhouse again this year.
Here, here.
It's very nice to be able to.
And those two over there are sweeping the floor up.
Yeah, okay. So all the effort is appreciated. Next up is the reading and approval of the 2017 minutes. Jonathan?
All right, did everybody get a copy? We have some printed ones up here. We have plenty, so you don't have to share. Okay, our last meeting was on October 15th.
Hang on, Jonathan. Anybody else need minutes?
Keep us the quick edition.
Eric?
Yeah, sure.
Anybody else? Got more here. One. Okay, Jonathan, sorry about that.
No problem. Our last meeting was on October 15th. I guess it was a Saturday or something. And we held it here. You want me to read through all the names of the attendees? Is that okay?
I have the reading to an abbreviated reading.
You want the abbreviated version? Okay, since
That's
you
just
have
a
your own.
suggestion.
I'm interested if you can read it.
Yeah, well, there actually is the LOA meeting, the motion pictures available on YouTube.
I saw that.
It's only an hour and 55 minutes, so.
And are we being recorded now?
I think we
Last
are,
time
though.
I looked, I think it had 5. Half of
I
those
should
were
have brought the
probably
lights.
me checking it out.
So we plug the lights in.
So, all right, well, the abbreviated, there was a treasury report. I mean, the numbers are here on the piece of paper. I could read them if that would be beneficial, but okay, I won't do that. And there was some detailed accounting and covered expenses, planned and budgeted and unbudgeted. Then there was a detailed treasurer's report. Yeah. So I think it was last year, Dan and Linda had bought lot 23. That was acknowledged in that meeting. And then
The only change there is
Yes,
that we would notify the tax assessor's office, not the sheriff.
Oh, that's
It's a minor
interesting.
point, just.
Okay. You know, when I saw the note and I thought, well, that's unusual, but maybe the sheriff does that here.
No,
The sheriff / tax collector / property appraiser.
You can see a guy in a small county.
Yeah. He changes hats depending on the president.
It's the sheriff department / revenue enforcement department.
I could see how those would work together.
Yeah, I saw it over the dirt road leading.
We will amend that. And I guess lots 21 and 23 were going to be combined into one parcel, one address.
they are combined.
They are combined. Yeah, I was talking, back then it was future tense, now it's past tense. Let's see, Jerry was gonna update the master plan. I never actually went to the website to see if that got done.
I'll do that.
Okay,
I believe it did get updated.
I would check now, but I can't get on the net.
Yeah, I'll check. The Wi-Fi works, if you can get to it.
I think it's the signal up here.
Yeah, it's just low.
Yeah, it says it's open, but when I click it,
Yeah, it's pretty far distance.
so, all right. Anyway, Dan, Dan Ford moved to approve the treasurer's report. Jane seconded, and the report was approved. Then we proceeded into the segment where we talked about the 2017 budget. Actually, it was a 2018 budget. I think I need to make a typo corrected in here. And the 2018 budget was presented. There was discussion about dues would remain $200 a lot. Planned expenditures weren't going to be changing from the previous year. Due invoices would be sent first week in December. And after the discussion, the budget was not disapproved, which I guess is good. The meeting then advanced into the community reports and our committee, I guess they're committee reports. And the first committee was the design committee. Linda, that was, I guess, your presentation. Yes. I don't actually list who talked, so may have been somebody for you if you want. 2017 was not a big construction year. A few sheds, some pavement, carports. Dan probably had the biggest. That's a beautiful driveway out there.
Oh, good.
Landing strip.
Landing strip, yeah. Then we had the grounds committee that Jerry was managing, and talked about pine trees turning yellow, pine beetles. Eric wasn't here, but he was talked about, okay. Mowing should be done monthly during the growing season. The next committee was light pollution, that was Jane. And I haven't read these in a long time, I apologize. Sharon's done a lot of work, but hasn't shared her efforts, but she's been busy. Marie considers this very important work needs to be continued. Billboards on I-20 are our source of light dome. And there was some reference to pig farm lights, but I'm not sure from reading it whether that meant the pig farm lights were out or not out.
When they're off, they're still dome.
Okay, got you. That's what.
Yeah. Jerry and I actually drove down to the pig farm and verified lights were not an issue from there.
Okay. So it's probably the billboards.
You know, we actually went to the quarry as well. The lights were completely off at the time, and we came back and we still had the dome. So I'm thinking that it's a combination of Augusta, Thompson, just that's causing the light dome in the line of sight.
Because I'm not out here at night. How high in the sky is?
Depends on the moisture, but generally, maybe up to 45 degrees.
Oh goodness, that high. Wow.
But luckily, it's just isolated to, just one specific area there.
All right. The next committee is picnic, social, and community activities. Marie and Jane spoke about the picnic. 50 attendees for last year, which was down from the previous years. Proposed that the 2018 picnic took place on Memorial Day. I guess she'll speak to that this time. Jane worked again on the Christmas display at the Stevens State Park.
Oh, this is great. Did everybody see it?
I wasn't.
Oh, it's fantastic. Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Dan.
And the fall open house was in November. That's dancing. Oh, and then there was a school visit also. And a teacher in Atlanta wanted to bring students out. I guess all those things, those were, I guess, Jane, you were talking about them coming and so I guess they have.
The school visit was canceled due to weather and,
You can, in the social events, you can give us an update on what's coming and what's past.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if we needed to review things that we talked about that were coming. So I'll skip ahead. Under old business, we had lot 11, the eyesore, Donovan's old lot, structure falling down.
The eyesore has been removed.
No longer an eyesore.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just moved down on the highway.
Yeah.
Down on the corner.
Now we got a couple others popping up. We'll talk about that.
Maybe we should have an eyesore award.
Anyone gonna second that motion?
All right. The old business, there was some discussion about the IDA development of distinction. It just said deferred to committee, so I don't have something to capture. And under new business, as I recall, this was a substantial part of our discussion last year, was DAV owners versus Log Creek. All that discussion will be property line issues.
Continues this year.
And continues.
A little bit. Hopefully it won't be quite as involved this year.
And then other business, let's see, Linda brought up about when Irma came through, what would happen to camping facilities, or would camping facilities being made available to the astronomy community. Offer was extended to the Winter Star Party to move to DAV. I guess they went to Chiefland instead. There was discussion about water quality and water testing. And then there was the voting for new officers. And the slate was accepted as proposed. And then new members at the time, Bob Stickle for 1 year remaining board director, Linda and Mike for building design, Eric for grounds, Jane would be public and public relations and astronomy outreach, Marie would do recreation, party, and picnic. I guess you could combine them all.
Well, since it's one event,
A party any way you look at it.
yeah, it's just not parts of this.
The DAV directory that's being passed around is being maintained again by Marie. And the establishment of this meeting, Sunday before Feast Day, September 30th. And come 3:47, Dan adjourned the meeting. An hour and 55 minutes. And again, you know, for those folks interested, you can watch the entire meeting on YouTube. If you didn't get the link, let me know. I'll be happy to forward it to you. It's just as exciting watching it as attending. Lots of other detail in here. Does anybody have any questions or concerns from the minutes that I can maybe try to address? Dan,
Appreciate it.
I move that we accept the meetings or the minutes as written or submitted.
thank you.
I'll second. As amended. Amended as noted.
Very good.
They amended.
Okay.
Yes. Next item, treasurer's report. Patricia.
Does everybody have a copy of the treasurer's report?
Take what you need.
We'll start with a real quick 2017 recap. There were a handful of expenses that came through after our meeting last year. Specifically, it was the common area maintenance the Memorial Day picnic reimbursements for food and supplies. We had some flowers for Sarah. We had reimbursements for astronomy outreach. We did make a donation to the AAC and sent them a thank you note for the use of the clubhouse for our meeting last year. We renewed our membership in AID. We had some administrative expenses, and then we had some expenses associated with the Christmas display at the A.H. Stevens Day Park and the Christmas ads in the local newspapers. We ended 2017 under budget by $2,415. And at the end of 2017, the checking account balance was $13,437. As far as 2019, all DAV members paid their 2018 membership dues in full and on time. Yay. And it was done with a minimal amount of nagging on my part. The 2018 corporation annual registration was filed with the state of Georgia, and the paperwork was updated to reflect the 2018 DAV LOA officers. 2017 taxes were filed with the IRS using the Form 1120-H, and with the state of Georgia with the Form 600. In both cases, we filed as a not-for-profit homeowners association. We reported an income of $4,600, expenses of $1,785, and we paid no taxes. Our 2018 expenses are currently under budget. However, the shared gate maintenance has been over budget this year, which seems to be par for the course. We seem to go over budget on the gate expenses about every other year. And the expected 2018 expenses between now and year end are the common area maintenance, mowing of the nature trails, public relations and astronomy outreach reimbursements, and their item membership renewal. We began 2018 with a checking account balance of $13,437, and the current balance is $15,085. Anybody have any questions? Also included in the packet is the itemized list of the monies that was received by all of the members. And then there's also the detail from the checking account. So if anybody's interested in the actual details, they're in the subsequent pages.
Pat, do we do our year from the LOA or from the?
No, our fiscal year is January the 1st to December the 31st. And the primary reason it's done that way is it makes filing the taxes a whole lot easier. Our officer slates and our officer terms are from the LOA election to the next meeting's LOA election. So they're off kilter as far as the calendar, but our fiscal year is January 1st to December 31st.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions or comments?
I move that we accept the treasurer's report as read, reported, submitted.
I wanted to thank everybody for sending flowers last year. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Was there a second on the?
I'll start.
Okay. It's cool. Okay, for the 2019 proposed budget.
I have plenty more if somebody wants.
It is, for all practical purposes, it is the same as the 2018 budget. And the 2018 budget was the same for both years, 2016 and 2017. The primary change is I recommend that we up our gate maintenance budget from $500 to $600, which necessitates some funds shuffling. And to do that, I recommend that we reduce our common area maintenance or mowing budget from $575 to $525, a $50 reduction. And that's because our mowing fee from the DLG has been unchanged for the last, all these years, and so it just seemed to make sense to move the budget.
We can go up
there.
on it.
We need to go up on it.
And then and also then reduce the road maintenance budget that we share with the DLG, reduce that from $300 to $250. And that's the, otherwise, the other buckets from the budgeting perspective would be unchanged. Questions or comments?
No questions? So we don't approve it, but what is, do we set it up as just not disapproved?
Yeah, I guess it's a declaration.
Okay, second that. All right, thank you,
Okay.
Patricia.
The only other thing would be, that, membership invoices then would be sent out sometime, later this year.
You have that set up such that our new treasurer, and you mentioned that, Dean, Patricia is not going to be treasurer past this year. We do appreciate all that you've done for us for the last 5-6 years. Well, all the information as far as invoices and all, that'll be transferred over as well, correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
And there's instructions. I've got my tub of information plus a thumb drive that's got a bunch of files on
Okay.
it that I will be giving Dean. And we'll spend a few minutes at the close of the meeting and I'll do a clean handoff over to him.
Excellent.
But the main thing that everybody needs to be aware of is our dues are due on January the 1st. We do have a 6-week grace period until February the 14th. For anyone that has not paid their dues come February the 15th, there is the 20% or 18%, I'm sorry, 18% late fee assessment or $36 assessment. So that I believe is still in effect.
Very good, thank you. Coming up are the community reports and the design approvals granted. Linda?
You know, I didn't prepare a proper report, so I'll email one.
Okay.
A list of everything we did, but I would like to mention that we do have an application form on file, I think, we get into to make sure it's still there. But the idea is to have a format to give applicants of design applications what information we need. And that makes it a whole lot easier for us to approve, because if we know the color and we know the dimensions and have an idea of what's going on, then I think we have an answer.
Okay, great.
And where can the design application?
I believe it's on the Yahoo membership board.
Which means you can't access.
We'll see if we can get it posted where it'll be easier to access.
If you can't find it, let me know.
There's a groups.io that a lot of people have moved to from Yahoo, so you
Yeah.
might look at groups.io.
Well, it's on Yahoo in the files. Somebody went through and cleaned out the files, so
Well,
some
well,
stuff
I'm
got
just saying, since
overly
Yahoo-
clean, I think.
Just, that out in Yahoo and it's probably.
All right, we can, we'll look into that. Eric, grounds?
Grounds, please mow. If you have a nature area, like I don't have the wildflower area, just let us know that it's intentional and you've actually planted something there. If it's just an area that you don't want to mow, please mow. It keeps down rattlesnakes, which is a big plus. There are a couple properties that need some maintenance. You probably know who you are. There's mold growing on your property, siding missing off your property, plants growing up and around your property. Please address it. We'll be sending out some nags here
Well, we
in
still
the
have the
fall.
same letters from last year that Tim could just forward.
Well, no, yeah, we're going to talk once we get the new officers in place about putting some teeth in. We've had a couple people that I think their weeds are taller than the roofs now on a couple buildings.
For that to come in.
Yeah, so I think that we need to be with a little bit more careful. Where the mold is replaced with paint color. In a couple spots.
Any other comments from owners regarding the grounds that we may have missed?
Potholes will be dealt with this November, December timeframe.
I appreciate you taking care of the roads for us over the years and in the future.
I got a helper now. He likes
You
digging.
do.
He'll get out there and help.
He's
dig
helping me
pothole.
out too. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
he wants to do more. He just bought a notebook
Yeah.
from the money he's been making.
Okay, light pollution. Jane, could you give us an update?
I have stagnated on that. I'm sorry, I have not met with Sharon or Marie or anybody who is working on it.
And wants
Okay.
to help.
Yeah, I'd be happy
Yeah.
about, we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Ed has some really innovative ideas, so if you would share them, or are you willing to share them?
Well, yeah, Jane and I had a discussion, I guess about a month ago, just impromptu discussion, and some of the light domes that Dan had mentioned for Thompson and going into Augusta, but also, I guess the big signs on 20 where the lights are shining up, and that on a very clear night, from Greer's Field, you really can't see it because of the trees, but from most of our properties, it's a little blip on the horizon, and it's quite noticeable. My daughter was out and she was admiring the Milky Way, and after the Milky Way, the first thing she asked was, "What is that?" I said, "Well, they put a sign."
Cloud, right?
Yeah, the sign I put up. But
The Chick-fil-A cloud.
yeah, you know, if if you need somebody to help talk to, is it Chick-fil-A that has that sign, or?
Chick-fil-A is one.
One of them.
Yeah.
There's
There's
a
a couple.
couple of them that just had this, rent this billboard, and I thought that might be a good use for Eric's drones and black spray painting down on the lights. Not on the billboard, we don't want to
We
fix
go
it.
on the drone. I got a teenager that will do a lot for a couple months.
But it's got a big phone number up, and perhaps
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah, you need to call the company that owns the billboards, not people paying for the advertising.
Right, right.
And the thing with the billboard companies is they're probably not gonna move the lights unless the lights get damaged and they have to replace them. And what you see out like in Tucson and you see in other areas where Hawaii, where it's dark focused, they move the lights to the top of the billboard and shine them down.
Right, that would be ideal. And
Chick-fil-A, they actually have them on the bottom and the top. And they're shining both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we could talk to Oliver County and see if we get the county to help out.
Some of them are Warren County too.
Most Oliver only has a little spot between one bridge and the other bridge on I-20.
Yeah, a lot of that's Warren.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
and that's really just so they can get traffic tickets in that one span. Most of it's in the counties.
Okay, so we will work on that in the near future.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help out or join that.
Appreciate it.
On there.
Okay, very good. Picnic and social activities, Marie and Jane?
The picnic went very well this year despite the fact that it was very rainy. In fact, we knew it was going to be bad weather before we started, so we actually gave out bad weather vouchers for free camping some other time. And actually, we ended up with more people than we had the year before. And it was really very nice picnic, I thought, despite the bad weather. So it's continuing to go on.
Very good.
And then the only other thing I have for community, and I'll just pass it around, is not related to the picnic, but on the front page of the Metro section in today's Atlanta Journal, there's an article featuring Crawford, that was violating Crawfordville, and it says, frustrated county starts healthcare. And actually, Kelly, I thought you might be real interested in this because they talk about how they, don't have an ambulance service and they don't have this, but anyway, they just built a double wide next to the school to give some sort of modicum of health care to the community, like flu shots and kind of a minute clinic type of thing. So I'll pass it around, but it's actually quite interesting. And anyway, he's the fellow who's in charge of the school system here, wants to make an effort to get their health.
The new superintendent's trying to do a lot to
Yeah, the new
change things.
superintendent is also the principal of the school that has 180 kids from pre-K to 12th grade, all of whom are eligible for free lunch or reduced lunch. So it tells you the level of poverty in the county. But anyway, they talked about that here, so that's
On a side note, the school has been very supportive of the community here. And as far as the health center, we have a new health center that's coming in because if you didn't know, the county is poor. We are fat, we are sick, and small. So, there are things that are going forth with that. On Saturday the 6th, this week, there will be a health fair where they'll have flu shots and low income services. You don't have to prove any need. You just go in and get all these.
Oliver is one of the, I think, 4 counties in Georgia that doesn't have a physician in the county, any sort of physician. So, and I would say over half of the attendees for our picnic this year, since the weather was so bad, we didn't get very few campers, were actually local people, which I was very glad to see because I think we've worked hard over the years to try to establish a relationship with the community so they just don't think we're just a bunch of freaks moved out from Atlanta and are trying to corrupt their community. Well, we might be that too, but we're also regular people.
Well, when we first got here, they said, "Aren't you the ones who get naked and dance under the moon?" And I say, "No, that was Chris."
Those are druids
No.
or something.
but
No, we don't need the moon.
The perception has improved, and I think a lot of it, I've heard people say that the picnic is a great event for the county and really a good opportunity.
And see, we have an ulterior motive as well regarding the light pollution, because, we did try to have an ordinance that was for the area for light pollution, which was probably too over the top. That did not go well. So we're going to probably try again later, once we have a few more picnics and
But one thing on helping the community awareness, and I'll help if you guys want to do this. I'm not going to do the bulk of the writing. If folks want to write some short articles, like a blog type post on astronomy, on how to do something in astronomy, we can get it posted and
Something they can do in the
socialized.
backyard, you know,
Stuff that you can do in the backyard, stuff, anything from how to tell where the North Star is to, how to do an image. And somebody wants to write some short blog material, not a 50-page treatise on how to use a webcam, but, something
you can
reasonably
do
short.
naked eye or binocular.
Not, naked eye, binocular, even basic astronomy imaging, stuff you've done out here.
No impact. I just can't imagine.
How to see the horse head with a telescope, other
I just
things.
don't think that's, this level of poverty, I
But-
just think that's like.
But
way
look for the
over.
simple stuff, but also do some of those not quite so simple. Just give them something to see what they can do with a little more effort, right? Don't make it all stuff they can do on the back of the napkin. But if you guys want to do stuff like that, I'll proof it, and we can get it posted and some decent traffic to it.
Well, the newspaper, the county newspaper, again, has been very supportive for 5 or 6 years. We had an article on the Sky this week, and it was all things that were either naked eye or binocular objects. And, that went for...
Is that a weekly or daily?
It's a weekly newspaper, and they will publish just about anything that you want.
Maybe we could give them a little 3-sentence line, look for the Geminids coming up.
Something really
Like October, was that the 20th? It's coming up in October.
But I thought it's do more than just the newspaper and get a little broader reach. People will see that, there's stuff going on in Tolliver outside of the once in a blue moon AJC article.
Is there a science club or any kind of club at the high school?
Not when I last looked, I didn't see anything that's changed. So, I'll,
Is it
One
school?
school is
It's the
combined.
school.
yeah, it's one combined school.
From
It's,
like first grade to 12th grade.
so I'm gonna try to get with the new superintendent. The last one, the discussion I had wasn't very positive.
Yeah.
He was more worried about getting more money for his kids from the government, as he put it.
I think my report's over.
The current school superintendent, as I said, is very supportive, but the school now has 3D printers. They have touch screen computers. Every student has a tablet. Every classroom has computers. And they are really promoting various educational pursuits. So, there is a wind of change, so.
Well, they did mention in that article about that's why they located the community health center there, was because that was a big one, that was like the Wi-Fi hotspot in the county. So,
Because apparently the rest of the county doesn't have Wi-Fi.
There is in
That's
the
fine.
library.
That was gonna be my question, is there actually a library in this county?
Yes, there is, and it's a lovely little facility, and it's open 4.5 days a week.
As a part of the Pines Network, you can get anything from the Pines Network kind of sent to the library. Because it's a small facility that you don't have any.
I was searching about expanding the telescope learning program.
That would be a thing. This is
What's
what's been
that?
done in Morgan County.
I had donated a small telescope to the Morgan County Library to lend out, just like a book. Original manager there was couldn't care less. I think we've got one now.
She just resigned.
I thought they had a new guy.
They have hired someone.
well, maybe put these telescope library lending programs, and it was usually nice that they work very astronomically, they actually have contests, so they would try to give you telescopes to help give to your library.
Maybe getting kids to do things like the astronomy league, universe sampler, all stuff you can do pretty much naked eye.
But they were actually helping, it's kind of a retro where you take a simple, like one of those 4-inch knobs,
Yeah, that's
that.
what it was.
And then so you collimate it, then you put plastic over the collimation screws so they don't mess with them. And then they have eyepieces that are actually attached to the scope so they can actually check the whole scope out and then get it back. I thought it was pretty cool. That's something we can, if we see one of those contests to win 5 scopes from your
I
library.
looked at that and it was sort of like, nah, I'll just bring $300 and buy the telescope, it's easier.
But they do have special kits that they
Yeah,
set
I
up a
got-
way
I
to
got
do
one
it
of the
so that
kits.
when they go home with someone, they'll come back.
As Kelly pointed out, the Tolliver County Library is part of the Pines system, which includes Wilkes and McDuffie County. So the 3 counties, oh, it's more than that?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a good bit of Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, those 3 libraries have been very accommodating to any displays we want to do. I never even thought of a telescope lending.
I'll send you some links because there's some really excellent designs out there specifically for scopes for library lending programs.
Okay, and the library just is getting a new director, so, thank you.
Might get more traction with the school though. I'm wondering.
It's the same sort of telescope you could probably.
We tried that with schools.
Tolliver?
Not in Tolliver, but other schools. And it's basically, unless you have a science teacher who's really all over it, that scope will end up being costly.
It has to be used. But anyway, that can be, we can talk about that.
But it's a great tool when we do outreach in Morgan County because the kids that really have a bug, they're checking out that.
Let's research that some more, see if that's something we want to take on as a community. Jane, do you want to speak to the school visits that we've had this year?
The one that we were supposed to have last year, the big Wilkes County was canceled due to weather. We did not have anything scheduled for Tolliver County last year. Someone dropped the ball, but this year we have one scheduled for the 30th of October, and there'll be 45 students that will be out here then.
You make sure you send me the info on that so I can get it on the next time network.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I've got possibly up to 50 Girl Scouts coming on November 10th from the Gainesville to Augusta area. It's the Girl Scout Council of Historic Georgia, which actually goes from Chattanooga to Savannah. It's just all of Georgia except for Metro Atlanta. So it's open actually to all those girls, but my senior Girl Scout who's really organized in all this, the one that we took up to NASA for a week last year, she's going to limit it to 50, and it may be that there's only 10. She doesn't know. She's putting a flyer out in the county, and we'll see. But Dan, when I put it on the DAV calendar, said that I told her 5 to 50, and you said that was okay. And of course, it's weather dependent, but this will be the girls' first time out.
Of course, the more that we have, the more volunteers we need.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do have, at least I do have the Girl Scouts are going to sort of supervise. I have enough, there's a leader girl, Rachel, and these are all girls that are middle school and high schoolers, so they're not little ones.
Do you have a date set?
November 10th.
Did you put that on the website network?
I will. Yeah, it's on the Deerlick calendar, but I'll put it there. I don't know if that's a CE meeting night or not, but anyway, it was the night that worked out. And that's actually a DSO night for the Atlanta Astronomy Club here, so my hope was that there would already be people with amateurs with telescopes. I'll talk to Dan before we leave today this week about where should we put up to 50 Girl Scouts on the field on a DSO night, because they probably want to hear the back.
And most of the folks that are setting up scopes are over on the east side.
So maybe down in this.
Well, I would just say anywhere on the left side of the road.
Are they gonna be camping or this is
No, they'll be camping, because they'll be coming, they'll be here all night.
just take them down there and then have it.
I already told them no campfires. I gave them our whole dark sky rules, but the Girl Scouts tend to sing sometimes, and I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking, put them down there.
But these are, at least these are the older girls. I don't know. middle
Oh, older
school now-
girls? Oh,
Well, yeah.
Crickets, frogs, and Girl Scouts.
Well, I don't know. Middle school now goes down to what, 5th or 6th grade.
middle school?
Yeah, so ours.
Six?
Sixth
What
grade.
ours?
Sixth grade.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Anyway, but they seem to count to me. Anyway. Everybody seems to. But anyway, just wanted to let you know we're gonna have Girl Scouts coming, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Okay, and related to that, I'd like to have another open house. And I was looking at the two possibles of either the 10th or the 17th of November. The 10th, we have our built-in DSO group, but the 17th is, you know, if you're having a lot of people, I don't know, do we need to try and control somewhat?
Yeah, I would say probably try to get it on a different night than the Scouts.
And again, I don't know if they'll just be 2 tents worth or 10, but
When will they have a head count today?
I'm not sure. They're in charge of organizing it themselves, but I know they'll probably know by the end of October. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, they're camping overnight.
Oh, they'll be there all day and
No, well, I don't know. I suggested they not come before about 4.
they're coming from all over. They stay overnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I warned them that there's absolutely nothing to do here. Don't expect, so, you know, and they're bringing some astronomy activities.
That's what I'm saying.
There's not even horseshoes, that's.
Do 1 night or 2 nights?
One
They
night.
can all sit in front of their iPhones.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah.
They won't get, yeah. I don't know how, I don't think they'll get very good signal if we're looking down there, but anyway.
We can discuss,
They're already in
we
the
can
campfire
discuss
house.
that, come up with a date,
Okay.
for
Yeah,
fall.
I think though, it might just be less
Yeah.
to little girls, young, fun, and showers.
And Jane, you said, what were your 2 dates again?
Well, I was looking at the 10th or the 17th. That is after I want to have it after our TCS, Tolliver School Outreach, so they'll be excited about it.
Okay.
But before Thanksgiving and the holidays and all that stuff. So,
All right, we'll discuss that.
okay. The other thing, we have been asked by a school in Hepzibah, South Augusta, if we could supply a speaker for Career Day. And that would be someone who would be willing to go to their school, and I believe it's to give a 15-minute presentation that is on a Friday, and I believe it is a morning event.
What Friday?
Friday the 26th of October. So I tentatively accepted, they need particulars by Friday, this Friday. So I thought I could push the envelope and try and.
Now, is that one 15-minute talk or a 15-minute talk through the whole day?
That's a very good question, Dan.
10, 15 minutes.
I know usually those things end up where you're doing
There's
it a
rotations,
lot of
yeah.
different times.
Yeah, I've done
Different
those.
grade levels.
I just did one 2 weeks ago, and it was the same talk to like 6 different classes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how to do it? You want me to
I'm
sign you up?
in San Francisco at Open World that Saturday. No, I can't. I'm on the other side of the country.
Yeah. You do anything not to help me.
I will prove my schedule right here. If you don't believe me.
Okay,
Dan, would
well-
you be interested if it's just one 15-minute talk?
Probably not.
I mean-
I have to get some health issues worked out.
Okay.
Okay, I can go and speak in a very limited parameter because it's career day. And so they want to know, you know, educational routes to astronomy careers, but what an astronomer does, and so, and it would have to be age relevant. So you might be telling the second graders to just learn to print, and you might be telling the 10th graders that they've got to, you know, go heavy on the sciences.
I think the
Don't point the
orientation
telescope to
that
the
you
ground.
do to the school kids out here would be all they can handle anyway. You know, for that particular age.
Astrophysicist down the street.
I'm sorry, what?
Isn't there a JPL astrophysicist down the street? Someone who has an actual career in astronomy?
Actually, I think so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I've been
you can get
professional
Nathan
before.
to help out, you know, that would be really great. Anyway, so that's another opportunity that we have. We have been asked, and I have gotten permission from the DLG to do Christmas in the Park again. And thank you, Dan, for the kudos, because it is evolving. We have a new space this year, because some of the people were getting really familiar with our big 8-foot moon as they step onto the field, and so they placed us across the field, so it's a little different. But the setup on that, again, I chose the 17th of November because the display starts on the 23rd of November, and it goes until the 30th of December. So I need volunteers to help set up and tear down the display. And in the past, Dan has been very helpful, and we figured things out. But you know, if anybody would be willing to help with that, that would be really
December 27th is the tear down?
That's the 17th?
I'm sorry, what?
Setup is the 17th?
That was, yeah, that's a Saturday. And it typically takes, what, about an hour, unless I'm helping, and then it's 2 hours?
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 hours if you help. Generally, Mr. Foote, David Foote helps, and he may, you know, be building another one, which it may take an hour or so before he gets to us, so there might be some waiting around. But normally, once he gets started, you know, he can put it up in an hour, and we're basically just, you know, handing him tools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if we have any folks out here that are handy with tools, you know, that would be of help too.
Yeah. Okay, but the display runs from the 23rd of November to the 30th of December. And so it's that whole, from Thanksgiving till after Christmas. And we're supposed to have it down by, I think it's January 5th. So, I don't know. Anyway, so that's something that's well received in the community. And I would recommend that if you're out here at all during that period, that you utilize that, because it's a big community outreach that the park does. And I think it's $5 parking to do it, and no other charges. And then different organizations have everything from hot dogs to cookies and hot chocolate. So that's a community event. In case anybody is not aware of it, and this is not specific to Toliver County or DAV, but there is a hospital tax credit program where if you donate a tax, like if you have to pay Georgia taxes, if you donate to a rural hospital, you get a 100% tax write-off. So it's a really good opportunity for anybody who's paying taxes in the state, and it'll help the hospital over in Washington. I have the IDA program, I guess we'll work some more on that. I want to invite everybody to Nick at Night at Nick's, the first Monday of the month, for a gourmet meal, which is $25, and it's generally really a delightful meal. This time they're having beef Wellington. It's a 4-course dinner, and you guys have been there, so.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, and it's, unfortunately, it is tomorrow, and reservations had to be in by Friday, but, you know.
Where is
no,
it?
we forgot.
It's a new
We
restaurant.
forgot to send ours in.
Yeah.
We slipped in yesterday.
Usually, but because the first were shot in the day, so we just got it.
Yeah,
And
he's
where is that?
Where is it?
in Crawford,
The new restaurant?
the little cafe there, and there's usually,
Across from the courthouse?
yes,
It's across Monument Street.
They have a Mexican name?
Yes, Mama Chooch's
Is that the same guy?
yes.
No.
It's not the same chef.
Oh, didn't, because I've eaten there
It's the same-
twice.
yeah,
The
the
last
same
time,
chef.
The only reason they got me a second time was a friend was working out here with me and he wanted to go there. His only comment when he walked out is, that's the kind of meal they serve you and they never want you to come back.
I'm sorry for that,
He had a
because we
hamburger.
hear,
First time I went, I had a hamburger to plum right chunky.
I am so
Linda's
sorry.
eggs were all full of shells.
Wow, no, yeah.
I mean, the second time I went, I got chicken fingers. How can you ruin the chicken finger? He did.
Yeah,
So, if y'all are saying it's decent, it has to be a different person.
no, Nick does the gourmet meal that I would,
Yeah, we had red snapper, wasn't it, the last one?
yeah.
It was
And
awesome.
I would put them up against the best restaurant that I've ever eaten in.
Maybe he took a day off. Yeah,
Okay.
long odds, but it
Um,
happened.
The Chamber of Commerce in Washington has invited us to join. We would join as a 501(c)(a) or.
We're not a non-exempt.
Okay.
We are not a non-exempt organization. We have not filed any of the paperwork to be a 501, whatever it is. And the primary reason for that is because our only source of income are our membership dues. If we were set up to be more of a charity type of organization, where we would be accepting donations, then it may make sense to look at the 501c, but we are strictly a not-for-profit homeowners association.
Okay.
And if we're a 501c, that your primary thing has to be it has to be the education, the 501 classifications. Road repairs, gate repairs don't count, so there's a conflict there too.
You would have to create a new organization to handle the outreach, and that would be the next
That'd be a task. I mean, you could put together a 501c education, astronomy, outreach, but that's a big task. I think the better thing there would be to partner with somebody like the AAC Charlie Elliott group that already has that and do something with them on that potentially, than trying to create our own.
Okay, so we're saying no on the Chamber of Commerce for Wilkes.
Not if they want us to be a 501c, because
Well,
we are not structured to be
The
one.
only reason they do that is because if you come in as a business, they charge more.
Yeah.
You might just ask them for a homeowners association.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Or do they have just a generic nonprofit status, not specifically a 501c nonprofit?
There might be another category.
Jane, if you want to give me the contact information, I can call them and see if there's options, but.
Super. Yeah, John Singleton will gladly spend time with you. Okay, and the last thing, I'm taking a lot of time, I understand, but, last year we had, pens made that had our logo on them, and they were like 89 cents a piece, and we gave out 100 of them. And, the company that did these for us has sent me other promotional materials. We have, a magnetic, like refrigerator calendar, if, you know, anybody would be interested. We have a, astronomy calendar which has our name on it, but it's not, it doesn't have astronomy in it. And then the last thing is, they have holiday cards, which I thought were kind of cool because they have a CD of music in it, and it just is holiday greetings, and they have different designs and stuff. But I don't know if we would want to get it from Deer Lick Astronomy Village, or if anybody would be interested in ordering these individually. They're ordered in a lot of 25, and they're like $1.98 or $1.89 a card. And if you have people that you would like to, you
If
know,
we're gonna-
impress.
Yeah, if we're gonna do promo stuff like that, let me know, because the prices on those pens is like 2 to 3 times market rate for promo pens. That's a very high priced thing. I can get my marketing department to source out better pricing for stuff.
Why are we investing in promotional
Well, that's
materials for a
yeah.
homeowners association?
I would say, you know, if individuals wanted to do that, that would be fine, but as a LOA, I don't think
Okay,
we would
great.
participate.
So it's okay if I keep taking all this stuff for myself, right?
Yeah, you keep all the
Yeah. Just if you're buying stuff, there's a lot better prices out there. That's pretty high for pens.
Oh, but they'd send me stuff that I never bought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's everything.
Okay, thank you, Jane. We skipped the old business, but the only thing I had listed there was lot 11, the shed being removed, so we've already chatted about that. Is there anything else in regards to old business that we need to discuss?
Do we have any updates on the IDA?
I have no info on that myself. International Dark Sky Association, we've been participating
The
every
development
year.
of distinction?
Are we trying to get classified? Is that what this?
Has
I
that just
think
been
Jane
gone
and
to the
Marie were
wayside?
working on that. That,
And Sharon
yeah.
and
Anything on that at this point?
I have dropped the ball. I apologize.
Is that, as far as a group, is that something you think we still should be pursuing as an LOA?
I think it's appropriate for us to renew our membership in IDA on an annual basis. I think the question is whether we should continue pursuing, becoming a development of distinction, or one of the other dark sky distinctions that IDA has.
What does that do for us?
And that's the other question, is what would be the benefit to us?
It has a benefit when you go to resell your property. Is where there's a
And
benefit
it's
there.
just the requirements for doing that were very stringent. and
They were
lots-
onerous.
just-
They were
just
so
a
onerous.
lot of-
Momentum.
Well, I think what I was more in favor of actually was seeing if we could get some little kudos for the town of Sharon, because it seemed easier to get Sharon as a town of light pollution distinction.
Yeah.
You know, it might be easier, and that would, again, help with the community, rather than trying for us to be a subdivision distinction or something. I thought it might be nice to recognize their efforts in the light fixtures and stuff.
And additionally, we're getting a new administration in Oliver County in the fall. And, well, they're voting in the 1st of January, they'll be bringing in new people. And so it might be possible to make some more inroads there.
That was sort of my way of greasing the wheel in the
Regime.
community for the light pollution, so maybe that's something that the light pollution committee might look at in terms of community distinctions or something that can help a lot the community rather than
Well, it does qualify a community for a lot of green grants because of the improved lighting. And so for a community to get grants under those auspices, it might be very advantageous for them to do it, so.
What strings come with those grants?
I have not looked at them, but they are green grants.
I'm gonna say, because usually grants say, go spend $100,000 and we'll give you 50. You know,
well, that's for Sharon.
Yeah, that's not my problem, man. But, you know, it's something that we can talk about and refresh. I go to the county commissioners meeting on a monthly basis, and that comes this week. And typically, they are aware of what's going on in Deer Lake, and they keep our roads fairly well maintained and the mowing on the side, so.
Which is you again, so next time you're up there, been there years. Especially the mowing along the side of the road. Roads are still in pretty good shape coming to the gate. Yeah. All right, new business. Just to update some of our new owners here. You're probably aware there's a trail that goes around the entire village. Beginning of last year, Log Creek had their property surveyed, and as it turns out, our surveyor messed things up. As a result of the problem, part of our trail was actually on their property. So Bob, myself, Bob Stickle, myself, Eric, is the area where the trail runs. So we pursued quite a few different avenues trying to find out, you know, number one, could we fight it to get this taken care of? In the long run, basically, it was the dollar sign. It was going to cost more to have the issue resolved than it would cost us to cut a new trail. And
we could have won.
We could have, but it would have
been at 30,000 plus.
Yeah, it would have cost a lot of money.
For backstory, Log Creek is actually owned. It's a trust that's set up by one of the founders of Zaxby's. So he's been taking all the Zaxby's money, putting it in Log Creek, buying up a whole bunch of timber property in the area for long-term wealth development. Which is fine, but it's just so you understand Log Creek, the relationship.
Big money behind them.
Yeah, big money behind it.
So the last communication that we've had, we basically decided it's best if we go ahead and cut our own trail to replace the trail in question. And we had one gentleman come back who basically does our roads. He was going to charge us $6,000 to cut a trail, which was unreasonable. The gentleman who was doing work on Eric's property, Boyd Kelly.
Stuff here too.
Or, yeah,
stuff here too.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work for us. He put water heater in our bathhouse, and he's done quite a few other things out here as well. He's telling us that the max cost would be about $2,000 to cut a new trail back through there, for our property. So that's what we're looking at right now. I know Bob sent out an email some months ago trying to get a feeling if other owners would be interested in going in. Again, this was a $6,000 cost at that time. There was very little interest, but now since our cost is going to be much less, again, we just wanted to get a feeling if there would be any interest in pursuing that. I think we've decided, we'll have it done one way or the other, but it's just a matter of if the LOA will assist or not.
Is there any chance that the survey company can eat that cost?
No.
He has no money, actually. Yeah, he has, the Echo Survey has no money really to sue him for it. He moved pins. There's a lot of stuff around it where just prosecuting it, getting anything out of them would be expensive and difficult. Property pins removed without approvals. The survey was questionable. But the one thing with surveys out here is if you come from one direction, you might get a good survey. You come from the other direction, you get a wrong one. There's also historical stuff where that road's been there for a long time. I found satellite images going back to the 80s for that road being there, that road which has been a dividing line. The age of the trees was showing that road has been an actual dividing line. So there's a way of fighting it. It's just a huge amount of money because of the lawyers, the law firm.
And the surveyor had no errors and emissions insurance.
Yeah,
What was that?
Errors and emissions insurance.
He said he didn't make an error. Well, that's a whole other.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
You know,
He had it, but in order to prove it was wrong, you'd also have to prove he put the pins in, and he came out and moved the pins, and all we have is an email of him saying it, which isn't enough to prosecute.
So we were able to use an attorney who has closed on most of our properties out here. He was willing to do a lot of info pro bono for us. And it turns out that he and the surveyor, you know, were not family related, but pretty close. You know, and he basically said he was not going to sue him, but he did give us some legal advice. And then we pursued with another attorney in Thompson, who basically said it's just not going to be worth the cost. You know, so that's why we
I talked to another real estate attorney and talked to the ex-head of the Georgia Bar, who would send me to another attorney. And just the cost of pursuing it would be a big expense. We'd win. We have enough stuff there to win, but it'd be a big expense. It'd be a fight.
Well, what about your properties? How is this going to affect?
The property comes, well, if you're looking at the trail, if you know where the old pins were, you know, the entire trail up to about, I'd say maybe 10 or 15 feet to the east of the trail was where the trail is now. According to the new information, or where the new pins are, that the surveyor said was always there, which weren't. The trail now is like 15 feet off. So, you know, none of our properties, other than the wooded area, is involved.
It's a small difference, and out here it's not an uncommon problem to have a 10-15 foot variance, apparently, depending on the survey company. But with something like a trail, it's very much more noticeable.
You look at it on the satellite, it goes straight and then blows out in a little half circle, and then goes straight down. It's that half circle, and it's not
Straight.
It should have gone straight.
It's about a third of an acre.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a third of an acre.
You know, essentially, this benefits the whole community. How-
Is DLG,
Yeah. Some amount, I'm not quite sure exactly what, but yeah, DLG will participate. As well as, I'm sure, you know, I'm willing to kick in a little more than everybody else since my property is involved. But,
you know, we could come up with a figure that trying to each line that we kick in and don't know whether anybody else is for that or against it. We're looking at what, $100?
I haven't
Take
even
some out
put,
of the budget.
yeah,
Or it could be the board could vote on it. There's enough funds to cover. We're not talking huge expense for Lloyd's told us to cut a new trail. It'd be about a 2 tractor wide trail, enough to get a tractor to mow.
Do we even need 2 tractor lots?
1.5, enough to, yeah, not too wide, enough to get a tractor through.
We need an ATV to pass, and that's kind of the minimum.
Yeah, well, I need it is a little bit wider than the tractor, so
Yeah.
the tractor can pass.
Right.
Not an ATV, so
we're
it'll be that
looking at
way.
maybe 8 foot
Yeah.
minimal.
I'm willing to kick in, so
Yeah,
we'll
it's-
get a walk around.
Before we make a final decision, you know, we'll email everyone, and just let everyone know what, you know, an average cost would be if everybody participated.
Or maybe the board could also come up with a proposal that if it's not bad, that if there's some cost, can they split with the
Yeah.
county and the LOA, you know, a third, and a third.
And Noy will do the final price. He's said a couple times when it hits winter, because that's a good winter project for his guys to be tearing that down. He's looking around January.
You know, when we purchased our lot, the nature trail was promoted as one of the benefits for this community. And the DLG was the developer of this community. And I'm not hearing anything about the DLG participating in the reconstruction of this trail.
I just mentioned we.
Yeah, I just mentioned it.
And I just want to make sure that that's out in the open, that the DLG is participating in it.
Yeah, that was mentioned.
Question of order, is it not, or would it be appropriate to use some of the existing LOA funds rather than having contributions? We've got a
15,000.
land there doing nothing.
So a lot of that reserve money was originally planned to cover the road. At some point, we would have a big rebuild of the road. But I don't think this is an inappropriate use of that reserve.
Just asking.
From early meetings, this was the type of unexpected thing we wanted to be able to cover. So yeah, we've got a reserve, and this is part of the infrastructure here.
So that's why I was suggesting that once you get the quote, like the board come up with a way to maybe propose that the DLG take a chunk and the HOA, LOA take a chunk, and then maybe private landowners, they might be willing to chip in a little by ledge, so maybe there could be chunks.
We'll put together official proposals once we have, some final numbers.
We'll share the final numbers, and I'll make sure that it's all open too. This is not going to be behind the doors.
Essentially, there's an easement across your lot that's covered.
Dan,
Okay.
once it's settled, then courthouse papers have to be refiled, things like that, or
You know,
what happens then?
Eccles came out 2 months ago. His comment to me at that time was he's going to resurvey the area. He did. He came out, he resurveyed, he used a drone. And he said one additional thing he was going to do for us because of all the issues, he was going to identify every structure on the property. Well, 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, he said he had it to me Sunday. And next thing, he's been in the hospital. So now he's not responding to my emails. So, I know he was out here, he put some time in, but at this point, it's a matter of just getting the final plat, because, I do believe if we see that final plat, it's going to be different than our original plat. But at this point, I don't know if we'll ever see it or not.
Dan, is it mostly a liability issue with the tree company? Because I can't imagine that they want to plant trees where the trail is. It's
Right.
such a small area.
Yeah, they just are concerned with people walking on the trail.
Well, it's not that. There's two things legally. One, the guys that bought it immediately, there's a special tax status you can get, so they cut their tax bill about in half. That means you can't have any development of the land for 10 years. You can't divest of it in 10 years. So for them to carve off a piece to fix it violates that piece. Even though there's a way around that, because you can say it's error and omissions of the plat, it still is a lot of paperwork. They don't want to do it. The second one is to protect their rights. Their law firm that's doing this also does all the Zaxby's law. This law firm is very litigious. When you have the ex-state of bar going, oh God, it's them, there's a problem. The guys that are running it for the Zaxby's folks, they are very litigious, and their attitude is as soon as they found out we were walking on the property they immediately wanted to shut it down, saying that if we do that too long, we can declare that we have right to that property. There's a procedure there. The flip side, my point is, that path has been there over 25 years. It's 20 years in Georgia. This has been going on before they bought the property. Suck it up. We've already, this has been going on too long. And they're saying, well, sue us. And I talked to several conversations. This is a $20,000, $30,000 lawsuit for $800, $900 worth of dirt. And that becomes the challenge. Over the principle, but Erin was like, yeah, we're going to pay right now. I mean, she was ready to, I'm like, no, too much money for that piece personally.
And you might not win, even though I
Yeah.
heard you
Now the
say
other thing is,
we're gonna win. It's the company that buys the lot. They have not done anything wrong. They bought the property. They had it surveyed immediately, found an error, and kicked us off.
Yep.
So it's hard to say they did anything wrong.
it's a tough thing. The other thing to do is we can put up signs on our properties saying just the facts. You have to be very careful. As of XYZ date, you can't go past this because of Log Tree, who's owned by, who's a trust for this person. Here's the contact info. It's all public, and then people start calling and say, why can't my Boy Scout just go here? And then you have the court of public opinion, and that tends to win out. But even that's a lot of effort.
We don't have a lot of people walking.
Yeah.
We all have friends and relatives that can help.
Well, we have church groups that go down there, and we have scouts and stuff that go down there. So I mean, it would be, but that still is an effort, and that's where it's just like $2,000, cut the trail, be done with it.
Recut it. The smart thing is just recut it.
Yeah, that's where like if it's $1,500, $2,000, cut the trail, get it done.
It's not really even, I mean, it's an obvious conclusion to just recut it and move on.
We'll keep everyone informed.
Don't shop at
Again,
Zaxby's.
it'll probably be another month or two before we get to the point we're ready to do anything, but we'll get some final figures, have the board look at it, come up with a proposal, and we'll send it out to everyone before anything.
It's too bad Chris Hatledge wasn't the majority owner, because I would be saying, Chris, you have to pay this because you created the whole thing. But since
He was the owner.
they watch, but now that there are people that are replaced him that I like, I don't want to be and say I'm not going to pay.
We appreciate it.
Oh, that's so bad.
Okay, any other new business need to be discussed? Okay, next item is voting for our officers. Hopefully, does everyone have a ballot to see who we're voting for?
Are we doing the ballot through acclamation, or are we actually
I
writing
think
one
we're
out?
just gonna do a bit, yeah.
Is there any contention on that ballot?
You want me secretary?
I think you have one individual to vote for.
Well, then why don't we just?
So I think we're gonna do it by voice. I move we do so everyone actually who we're voting for.
You already are hard over here.
I'm counting down the seconds.
Oh God, we're gonna get into Chads now.
Hanging, your chat hanging?
We're gonna do this electronically. That's easier to stuff the
Y'all have
ballot.
one, right?
Russians, Chinese, they're the big rigorous.
I move that we,
Top of the list.
I move we accept the proposed D&D ballot and proxy list as.
I already did that.
You already did that? Well, I'll second it.
So we need a vote. We need a
Well, I
yea.
think we actually need
Yes.
to vote on that.
So that,
I think we actually need to vote.
well,
Yeah.
that's what happens after the second, yes.
So all in favor of voting for the ballot?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? All right, well, it looks like Dan Ford has the office of president. Dean, congratulations, office of the treasurer. Jonathan, you're secretary for another year, if you wish.
You voted.
I no longer am.
That's right. Okay, as far as our board, we have Ed is coming in at a 3-year term. Eric is taking Jerry's 2 remaining years. And Dan has 1 year left. Does that sound right? Okay. And the committees as they stand as listed, we're going to add Ed to the light pollution. And Tim, can we leave you on the grounds committee? Okay, he just included that as well.
Yay, somebody else can.
And as far as the building design, we are supposed to have 3 individuals. We have 2. Would anybody else be interested in sitting on that committee?
That's what, 2 requests a year or something, pretty light volume, right?
Usually 2 or 3. One is getting it.
So if anyone has an interest in sitting on the design committee, let me know.
I'll do it.
Okay, Dan, thank you.
That way I can vote for my own improvements.
You have to abstain.
Oh, you didn't say that. It's too late.
I had to abstain when I built my own.
Unfortunately, design.
No Jeff Sessions here.
No.
Okay, and the review, the recreation, picnic, Marie, you gonna remain on that committee?
Yeah, as long as our chef stays. And
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'll cook and Erin will do her normal thing.
And we can use the chairs, from the reason Sharon's on there, is because we can use the chairs at the table for the days. Well, she helps us get that all set up.
Very good. Any other comments, questions? If not, it's time to adjourn.
We'll set next year.
No.
Well, maybe we do. Next
Oh,
year.
wait. I got one issue I want to bring up.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't live out here, you probably are only semi-aware of this, but there is an enormous amount of shooting that goes on in that property next door. And there's, I hate to use the politically correct term noise pollution, but it's really a lot. And I wonder if we can sort of stick a needle in the side of this law firm and tell them, hey, you guys got a bunch of shooters on that property. And I don't know if everybody here remembers this. There's probably a few people who have bought here since this happened, but like 8 or 9 years ago, the shooting range next to us, a bullet went right past Chris Hetledge's head on the field up here at the Peach State. And the police came out, and apparently they had to change the way their shooting range was facing. Nobody had any idea they were shooting at us, I guess, when they were
Is it a
practicing.
shooting range or is it just deer hunters practicing?
I don't know. Somebody told me they had a range.
From the aerial, it looks like they've got a range.
Yeah,
But
it looks.
they have a cleared off area, but it's not a proper range, it's not a proper bunker to shoot into.
So
berm.
since they became real pedas about the trail, I think it might be a good idea to say, hey, you got a bunch of shooters on your property. We're actually scared you might hit us. And there has been an incident with a police report of a bullet almost striking somebody here. We better hope that you don't hurt one of us because we're going to sue. And let's see if maybe they get rid of them.
It's a residential property. Why are you shooting next door to a residential property?
Yeah,
I thought it was
I think we ought to pursue that.
Well, it is.
Other people.
But be responsible when you
yeah.
shoot. These guys aren't always that responsible.
Well,
I'm surprised we haven't found bullets in buildings out here.
Yeah, so they're, as the owners, they're responsible for their tenants out there. And I think we ought to hold their feet to the fire and say, well, you know, since y'all did us a real solid and screwed us on the trail, how about you maintain your people? And it might be a good idea to have them stop shooting.
Are there people,
There-
are they shooting when it's not hunting season?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got it recorded. I recorded it. I've got
Yeah,
a
they're shooting
recording
on
of it.
Liability, though, Georgia has a law, and I know this because I actually own other property where we lease on it. Georgia has a law where if somebody's deer hunting on your property, the landowner is not responsible for the hunting activity. But these guys aren't hunting, this is their camp, so we might have a way out. Because this lawyer is really litigious over there. He might come back and say, well, there's a law that protects landowners for hunting. These guys aren't hunting, they're operating a gun range. Right, that's different.
Well, and then your follow-up sentence is, okay, take that position. When somebody gets hurt or killed, we'll see you in court. And let them sleep every night worried about that.
I had visions of them saying, oh, you're right, we should light this range so that, you know, we've got these stadium lights that'll keep people within these parameters. I mean,
let's pretend.
that's, that, you know, if we escalate.
If we're worried about it, then we shouldn't do anything. I mean, that's a good point. If you think they're gonna retaliate, maybe we can.
One thing that we've done every year prior to deer season is a couple of us have gone over and talked to them, just, you know, to make sure that everyone who's over there hunting knows that, yeah, there's a village over here. And, you know, looking at all the deer stands are generally pointing away from us, so. But, yeah, like you're saying, they do have.
Is there some way we can
It's
put
not just
signs?
them, it's the other side too.
It is.
Yeah.
Is there some way we can put signs at least on the property edge of the field, like up there, just pointing that way to let them know that they're residents?
Actually, there's a better one, if you really want to play nice. We could put deer bait on the nature trail. They can't hunt within, I think it's 300 feet of the deer bait.
Oh, but no, I don't,
That'll get their attention real quick.
Now, I've gone out and defend them a little bit when people are shooting out there, to be quite honest. I've never seen anybody even remotely pointing in our direction. And like you said, the deer stands are all.
Absolutely.
I just didn't know for,
You know,
like,
most
for the
coverage
camp,
is
if we could put some
with
sort of
a few
informative sign,
turns,
so if
but,
someone does show up there and doesn't know.
Well,
they're-
I'm sure, you know, dead of winter, they can see
Yeah.
all the homes and stuff over here. Yes, summertime, no, they're not see for the trees, but, yeah, they're over there year
But a lot of
round.
that's more of their base camp. So a lot of those guys are not hunting on the property, that's their base camp. And where they do field processing and target practice, they're actually hunting on other properties in the area.
Well, if you think we're gonna cause trouble, then I'd say we just have a minor discussion and drop it, you know, here. But I did want to bring it up for.
I was wondering too, is there someone we can call when they're hunting off season? Is there someone you like, you know?
How do you know if it's hunting versus target practice?
I don't know.
See, that's a challenge, is all they have to say is it was target practice.
Well, machine gun over there. I think.
Yeah, if it's,
Yeah.
if it's boom, 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 that's not hunting.
Yeah.
Well, it's something we just have to live with, I guess.
And if you can keep documenting it,
Yeah.
I think that would.
Well, by the way, the Dollar General sells these shirts that I wear exclusively out here when I'm walking, so I don't get shot. So,
Yeah, and that during hunting season, that would definitely be a good idea. If you're walking the trails, yeah, be sure to wear something to be seen.
Little safety flags,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, Dan, it's about 2 weeks ago, I think it was around dusk, it sounded like it was coming out of your backyard. I honestly thought you were out there with a gun. I mean, it was very, very close. And
No,
I thought you were out there doing target practice. It was that close.
Yeah, we've been in the backyard, and I recorded it over my central air conditioner running right next to me.
Yeah.
That's how loud it was. They were really.
Yeah,
You
it was
can tell
very
they're
loud.
over there because of their Coleman lantern lights. We see that all the
Yeah.
time from our property.
No, here's,
Directly
I
across
can-
from us.
here's the range. So if you look on the property here, no, I don't want that, yeah. So the range, so we're here at the clubhouse.
Oh,
This is the range they built right here.
okay.
So, but it's not properly burned. That's shooting north-south,
Right.
basically.
So you guys are right here.
So Dan's right here,
Yeah.
they're shooting this way is where they're shooting.
You're shooting north?
They're shooting south.
South.
But sound carries.
Sound carries and bounces in the woods real easily. But that's what they're doing, they're shooting
Somebody
here, they're
there
shooting
was
south.
using a really high caliber thing one day that was just enormously loud. It was-
Hunting with a 50 cal?
It sounded like a 50 cal. It was shockingly
I'll have a couple
loud.
of
I mean, I
7mm
jumped when the first one went off,
Somebody's here.
and I shoot a lot at the range, and I jumped when it went off. That tells
50
you
cal, that's a
freaking-
hamburger, that's not hunting, that's making hamburger.
Yeah. So,
Before we can set our meeting for next year, we need to find out when the peach date is, and
And I have that.
unfortunately, you do? Okay,
Yes,
great.
Peter told me it would be October 20th, the week October 20th through 27th.
So 20th being on
20th
the
is a
Sunday. So we want to schedule it for October 20th.
Sounds good.
Sunday okay for everyone?
Sure.
Okay, 2 p.m.
Sure.
AAC building?
And then we just need
Suspect
to
it'll
ask
let us-
Peter to
yeah.
let us know if they changed that date. That was, when I asked about the Girl Scouts, they wanted to know when the next meeting was.
Question along those lines. Does the LOA want to make another contribution this year to the AAC for the use of
I think that would be a good idea if everyone would agree.
Because we also use their chairs during the, and their tables.
And last year, we gave a $50 donation to them.
I would say that, send them the same amount
Okay.
with a thank you note. Very
So
good.
the cleaners should get some share of that.
On my calendar now. I see when open.
You like that, Jim? Excellent. Any other, yes, any other questions, comments? If not, I move that we adjourn the meeting until next year. Thank you. Appreciate everyone coming. Thank you.
And I said need of you, what I meant to do.
You have withdrawals?
I believe you should have been part of the budget. Okay.
I didn't know
You paid it there, if they prorated it, you would only be.
After lost several exams, the best.
Well, you should pay for he would be covered with Jerry's fees
We'll see you tomorrow night.
In all honesty.
not think they can tell
Yeah, you might not pay anything, because usually when things are annual like this,
Okay.
when you close, Jerry
give me
$5 a year. So you pay in January.
Okay, so he paid in January.
And if you escrow, you're usually a.
That's what it is. That's what I was asking Dan.
You were told,
Yes,
Yes, it would have been in there.
January, and then the thing there is get the new treasurer quick.
Right.
Because when I was doing treasurer, I had to do escrow.
Yeah, I'll have to, I'll make a note to follow up with Wells Fargo and make sure.
Well, they won't automatically pay, so they have to get a invoice.
Give them a note.
And then they won't pay it initially, because they want it on slow. They're not responsible for the late fee, you are.
Yeah, they were really,
Thank you for your excellent job.
some of the things that were, they're a homeowners association. Technically, they're,
But now I want to go to New York.
okay, they're.
Right.
I was rather to write a check.
Yeah, you can do that too. Just because it's escrow, you have to pay it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the property tax is so low out here, I wouldn't escrow unless I had to. I did escrow, they always keep more money than you float. Like,
Yeah.
I just pay roughly my taxes and my dues.
Right, I may go back and try to reconfigure that.
Facing that.
Because your taxes should be for these 600 a year.
Yeah, I'd rather, like, we just pay it up front. Yeah.
And then make the interest, which is the whole idea of buying escrow for them. They want to do the escrow because they want to make the interest off the tax.
Right. Yeah, and that just sort of complicates everything when they do that.
When they don't want to pay.
I mean, that's the way it viewed in Virginia.
Because I had a problem years ago on structure for some, one of the folks that the bank didn't want to pay because they didn't like the way the invoice was done.
Yeah.
After
That's
a
something we
invoice,
could,
the bank still was holding on to the money.
have them discuss
And
it.
they're commenting, I'm like, okay, there's a late fee, and the bank said, fine, talk to the landowner.
Right. Yeah.
And which is a pain to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of fearing. Yeah. I was sort of thinking that something
It was there.
due.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the income, remember the mortgage processor?
Yeah.
Make that
Peter was saying about
mortgage.
getting Wednesday night.
They did.
Yeah.
So even though some of the companies own the they probably already sold it, but it was processed. But they bid on that processing with the hope they will jump no late fees and stuff in the float.
And, you know, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$600.
depending on,
Yeah, I'd rather just
they're gonna
pay
be here
out.
with the, AAC group. I would say
It's not so
set
much
up anywhere on the
money.
left side of the road as you're coming in.
Yes.
You know, if they wanted to sit around the post, you know, generally very few, if anybody, is setting up over here. They're all up next to the, you know, the house up on that side.
Oh, they're black,
So,
exactly.
and then by then we'll know how many.
Okay.
The Boy Scouts did it, the little turnarounds, right on that side of the road over there, where I'm pointing to, it's like about right there.
Yeah, they wanted to
It's a little
actually
turnaround, they all
wood
camped in there.
so they actually camped in that one.
Did trash picking up things show up?
Yeah.
I think
All right.
covered until tomorrow.
See y'all later.
Well, not,
What?
whatever it takes.
I might hit you up for
Yeah,
something.
it's an amount.
We need some advice.
Like what?
Well, we've.
No, just, I just.
And actually, then it was $6,000.
We'll see.
Sacrifice,
Well, I fly out tomorrow, so.
Yeah,
No, it's not that early.
It'll take off.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna discuss a few things.
Well, thanks, thank you, appreciate it. I've got to find him.
I got a branch.
Probably go along with that.
Yeah, make sure you didn't have a correction.
Yeah, 10% will pump it.
Like I said, I have a bridge.
This has everything in it.
You can share documents.
We may need it.
There's a thumb drive.
Just easier to do calls like that on a bridge.
And I put everything.
I think, yeah, every weekend that's available, it's gonna be out here, so.
Yep.
0,
Once or
3,
twice a month when you're out,
we
get
didn't put it
together.
on a DVD because probably not easy.
A couple of times, you know, every quarter or so,
Software development,
whatever's available.
Well, so were we.
October.
And,
okay.
okay.
Busy,
Your
busy.
face and name are familiar.
It's insane.
Did you work for the Bank of America?
On a contract in Florida about
Take that home and read.
10 years ago. Yeah, 10, 15 years ago.
In Jacksonville?
Yeah.
It's like I fly out
Because
tomorrow
I
and
worked for
you
the
see.
bank in Jacksonville.
I was supposed to be on.
Your name is familiar.
When did you
and your
find
face
out?
is familiar.
Yeah, I was already there about 3 months. I think it was 3 months.
The AAC sauna for 25 cents for 5
Wow.
minutes.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, they,
what, so what, you
they're
were
not,
working
they're not
there in
running
the-
the sauna today.
I worked.
IT group? Or?
You gotta come here in the summer.
I came out of the IT group out of Bank of America.
I still love how Sharon did the floor though.
All right. Well,
Wow, she spent a lot of
got
time
a
doing
really
that.
good memory.
Okay,
I was up here one
this
day,
is
she
just
was
the odds and
cutting
ends.
tile
I
and
mean,
had
you've got your
rolled.
thumb drive, you've got your.
She had made the whole thing in paper and then tracing
The
stuff.
stamps, there's
Came out really
business
cool.
envelopes.
It's a shame that
The
AC doesn't
important
use it.
stuff, these are all of these bank statements.
I've never seen them even roll the roof on
You
the.
got the check
Not
book
lately.
here.
I forgot to mention
And
the
there's
school
another
had
packet of
an
blank
inflatable
checks.
planetarium.
Oh, those are fun.
The rest of the stuff is pretty
I've run those in the
self-explanatory.
They
The
bring
other
it out.
thing in here are all
We
of
can do it
the
for the
tax
school.
statements.
Actually,
2013 to 17.
no, but you did out.
If it's like
Yeah.
one that they.
And taxes are easy.
If you have to put it like in the cafeteria or something.
Yeah, they're
I
pretty large.
use a fan,
The federal
Yeah.
form
it up.
is one
They
thing.
blow it up with a fan, it's all dark,
And
and
then
then you have a
the,
basic projector inside.
Although the
Is
state
there
form
digital
is
or manual?
multi-pages, the pertinent information
Sure.
is on here on page one.
Well, they still could be digital back
Yeah,
then, a lot
sign
of them
down
were
here.
using projectors.
I don't know,
Maybe
back
with
then.
tax.
I need to actually go and check
Pretty
it out.
straight.
If I can see it, I've run them before.
That's most of it.
When are you
And
here?
a couple
Well, I
of
fly out
things.
tomorrow
This is
too,
on the-
from
This is
Augusta.
on the,
I'm back Thursday and Friday, getting my
the
garage door
thumb
put in
drive.
Friday,
We
so
put a
my shed will be
spreadsheet
done.
together.
So,
I've been
I have
maintaining this
pretty
over
much-
the years.
Okay, so you don't
Showing
go back Thursday and
the
Friday, so I'm
historical
pretty flexible.
spending.
I think I only have one or two calls
Because sometimes questions
this Thursday and Friday.
come up
Other than
about
that,
this and you kind of see
I'm like
how,
traveling nonstop
you know,
until
we've got
November.
responsibilities that are
First full
defined
week in
in our
November.
covenants.
Okay, did you say you wanted
There
to
are a
meet
couple of
Alan as
items
well?
that
Yeah.
the LOA has.
Because the last one,
purchased
the last guy I
that
talked to
we have
basically told me this.
We've got
Basically, I'm not gonna give her Section
assets
8. I
that
wrote off
are,
the county.
shared
But if he's really trying to do it, I can do,
in the
as long as I
LOA,
can
so
schedule
we
it.
have those things.
Because I gotta
And
schedule
then
some
we
of this
just
stuff
have
like
our
6 months in
recurring
advance.
expenses.
I could do solar during the day one day pretty easily.
You know,
I just need to schedule it in advance.
the renewal
Ideally
with the state,
do it like
and
on a
it's only
Friday.
$30 a year. So
weather permitting, I can do stuff like that, I'll do it for them.
The insurance, this is the,
Now, when
this is
send
the
stuff, I
first
get them plugged
year
into.
our insurance has not gone up.
Okay, you said that you're having.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Friday, Friday, so, well, it's
We did
Friday, but I'm
end up
gonna call him tomorrow.
paying
and-
more taxes.
Well, I have
all
the
year,
guy from Augusta's
and
putting
that's
the door in.
because I didn't.
You need some help there,
Yeah.
don't
Lloyd was like, the guy from Augusta, he's like, I'll sell you the door, it's gonna be
Because one
$700.
document said,
Like, how much
not
not installed? He goes, oh,
homeowners
650.
association,
Like,
just what I
at
wrote.
that point, install
And another
it. And Lloyd was like,
document
yeah, install it, he'll do it in a couple
What,
extra
what
things.
you wrote?
Yeah,
told
not-
The
me.
boys will put
Yeah,
in Rochester
yeah.
motor. Let's do that part. I'll put in the motor on it.
The one that's,
I just wanna be able to,
yeah.
I wanna be able to
Yeah.
pull out, not have to
And
like
then,
get off
um,
and go shut
Or
anything.
at least use
Okay.
the 2017 as an example.
But Thursday, I mean, I
And then
never
we've got our
even.
miscellaneous, you know, those are.
Yeah, I love
And
those.
we were incorporated
We're not full suit on them, but.
2012, and so you can see that a lot
Okay,
of these
so
expenses have been since incorporation. And the primary purpose we're doing,
Well, I'm gonna get into our
starting
31
out
sleep night.
and of course, was
Where are we
basically,
Thursday?
we have a goodwill gesture to the rest of the community to get them on board, we help them to
No.
preserve our staff.
That's Augusta.
It's Ethan here this weekend with you.
We got Augusta on 12:30.
He's not gonna be here next week.
He's gonna be, he's like leaving Saturday,
That's
he has
what
a
that,
band thing Friday
and
night.
this is basically just to kind of give
So
you
he'll be here Saturday and then.
the spreadsheet, this is how I
Sunday.
did
I don't
it.
have to be.
I'll have a.
So,
Because I have,
so
I mean, I
Thursday,
wanna
I have one
with you.
tab.
Thursday I have a 1 to 2 call.
Technical.
Otherwise,
We set
I have
up our
nothing else
next
Thursday.
year's meeting.
Basically, I
Do
have it
you
set
want
up
me to
that when the items here in the morning,
Thursday
is
afternoon?
what
Do it like three works,
this kind of goes across
11
for
works,
each of the
whatever.
categories.
3 works or 11, well, yeah, 3 works, 3 would be better.
Check account.
Yeah, we're
I just
done.
kind of
3 o'clock.
cut
3
paste
works
it
is
here.
better.
Okay,
Total.
and I will give
Leave that running.
your phone number, I will give,
Is what
Give
is,
them myself, my email.
Smith
this is set up where
the,
this field is equal to,
teacher, who's a science teacher,
and it's set up
These
that
keep
for
some air
each piece
circulating.
across. And then for the income,
And a lot of stuff what I do with Oracle as an ACE director is
I just
STEM
have
stuff with the
the
program.
list
So I have a whole
of
thing you guys don't see that I do in that
properties
space.
when I
listen.
receive
Never
He
failed to
wants
farm.
to, they're,
the
So I
amount.
do a lot with called kids for codes, and I do a lot with that.
Yeah, my
This-
board,
this
done
is
with
just,
it.
working to
Yeah,
get
pick it up. All of that.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty.
at the school, we've got $175,000 allocated.
I'll stop by that way.
It's nothing to do.
On the way out.
Yeah.
All right.
So you can have this if you
From
want,
a
I can
STEM
recycle it.
station to,
This is
a.
This is, yeah, this is the master.
Okay, oh, so you mean like the
This
science?
is the master
I'm thinking green
spreadsheet.
spaces.
And
Well,
it
because
is,
it's
it is on the thumb drive that's in here.
You know, it's going to be raised garden beds,
Right, yeah.
fruit trees,
Contractors.
Get rid of this.
I have been doing
Contractors
it
out
for
there
the last
do that.
5 years.
they have not put in bid.
And I just needed a.
Does they even, do
yeah.
they even know? See, here's
I,
the problem. They don't, you might folks don't
You
even know
know,
they have to
there's
bid.
times where.
So I worked on a
in
project
these
that we
meetings,
purposely hired them.
I-
But if the
I
if the
feel
guys
like
out here,
I'm-
the
I have to
contractors
wear
don't even know the
visor.
state process, and if they're not certified
So
with it, that could be
sometimes,
another problem.
you know, I kind
Because
of-
what contract vehicle did he put out the contract on?
I have no idea.
So depending on what his CV
What I have
is,
to-
they might not be able to bid, because if he bid it over something weird like TCPM, and no one out here has TCPM, he might understand that.
Yes,
I understand.
So that's the problem
Hey, do
too.
you
I
wanna
don't know
go
what you
up
put
for
it out.
readings tomorrow sometime? You gonna be around?
The contractors might not know how to deal with that.
Signature
if they have to
card.
bid that way.
It's
The
such
bank
a
guy said
huge- I
that
mean, they've
just
got a.
myself, since I'm already
Beautiful.
approved.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think both of you, I don't need to be there.
Right.
That's
what he feels.
And the two of you need to be there. You'll need to take
Ah.
my name off
Say,
of
well,
it.
set up, I can do it Thursday.
It should automatically
Teaching, doing the
say
planetarium would be,
why online
that's
access.
doable.
Right, and I'll have to.
And
Been
they'll
there,
have to
done
do
that. It's not a
And
get-to,
I-
but,
when I
you know.
first took it over,
Kind of what?
I found that I
Get-to
had to
is
go
a
to the
brand
branch office and have them
of
set it up for me.
I don't, I
mechanical
haven't
systems.
seen
And I
it,
think
I
part of
have
that's
not
because
seen
it's in
it,
the Swiss account.
but,
Yeah, the inflatable, those, a lot of those
Since
are
you're gonna be there.
digital
with a
projectors,
signature
are pretty easy to
card
run.
anyway.
which is doing all that.
Do you have regions near?
All right.
So it's like running the
Well, I
SkyX.
I don't know, I'm actually
You
moving.
can run the SkyX, you can run one of them.
All right, super. Thank you, Eric.
You know, if not, you can still do everything
I don't
online.
know whether they have it or not, but
If you need to.
yeah,
I
the
had-
vast majority of stuff.
I did everything,
done online.
when I had the checks, I deposited the checks in the branch office,
Mhm.
but I drove by a branch office on my way to the grocery store every day.
Right.
So for me to go to the Regions Bank, it was no big deal. But the only time I ever stepped foot in that office was to deposit the checks. And with the way that they got the mobile banking set up, you should be able to do deposits via the mobile application.
Yeah, probably so.
So
yeah,
if you
most-
don't
Most
have-
banks have.
Yeah, so if you don't have a Regions Bank near you,
I'll
you know,
work out.
you can work out the details and get all your questions answered from the bank there tomorrow.
Yeah.
What time do you want to do that? I'm available pretty much
So
anytime.
anyway, that's yours.
All right, what,
You want to throw those over here? Okay. 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Because I think they open at 9, so
We'll just run the
I'll get
recycle
settled,
bin.
and then you go in, and shouldn't take but 10, 15 minutes for us. They'll go ahead and get you set up on,
Thank you,
account.
Pat, for everything you've done.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hopefully, when you head out, you'll be ready to take over everything.
I know you're ready for a break.
Are you gonna be here? Do you need to pick you up somewhere? Or you
why
want
don't-
to there?
why don't we,